March 2026 brought a High Court order that every private school principal in India needs to understand. A budget that broke records but missed its own target. A number from UDISE Plus that should be on every school leader's wall. And a question about coaching that nobody wants to answer honestly. I am Ravi Santlani. This is the Education Brief. 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's go. The Delhi School Education Transparency in Fixation and Regulation of Fees Act 2025 was supposed to change how over 1,700 unaided private schools set their fees. Prior approvals required, penalties up to 10 lakh rupees, school level fee regulation committees mandatory. Then the Delhi High Court stepped in. In late February and early March, the court stated key provisions of the act, including those mandatory committees. Schools will charge the same fees for 2026-27 as they did for 25-26 until the next hearing. The government says the act curbs profiteering. Schools say it stifles quality and autonomy. If Delhi wins this in court, will your state be next? Fee regulation is coming to Indian education. The only question is when and in what form. Watch this case closely. The Union Budget 2026-27 allocated 83,562 crore rupees to school education and literacy. That is 6.3% increase. The total education budget crossed 1,39,000 crore, described as the highest ever. It sounds like a landmark moment until you hold it against the NEP's own target. The National Education Policy calls for 6% of GDP to be spent on education. Combined center and state spending is at approximately 4.1%. We are nearly 2 full percentage points short of our own policy commitment. Record numbers, but by the government's own standard, still underfunded. The NEP rollout that school leaders are being asked to implement, the foundational stage, the new curriculum framework, the teacher training, all of it needs that missing 2%. Until it arrives, implementations will remain uneven at best. 13,701 teaching posts are currently vacant in Kendriya Vidyalayas and Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas. The government cannot fully staff its own elite school systems. If that does not tell you something about the state of teaching as a profession, I do not know what will. UDISE Plus data for 2024-25 released this month contains the single most important number in Indian education right now. Government school enrollment has fallen to 12.16 crore children. In 2022-23, it was 13.62 crore. That is an 11% drop in 3 years. Private school share has risen to 39%, the highest since 2018-19. Total enrollment across both systems is down to 24.69 crore. This is not just a government school problem. This is a demographic and trust problem. Families are voting with their feet. They're choosing private schools even when it stretches their budgets because they do not believe the government system will deliver for their child. For private school leaders, this is your moment. The families coming to you are making a sacrifice to be there. Treat that accordingly. For government school leaders, this data is your brief for the next 5 years. 2 numbers from this month that belong together. Number 1, secondary retention, the percentage of children who make it from class 1 all the way to class 12 is 47.2%, just under half. More than half of the children who start school in India do not finish it. Number 2, a Mosby survey found that 30.7% of urban students and 25.5% of rural students are taking private coaching on top of their school fees. Urban families are spending nearly 4,000 rupees per child per year on coaching. Put these 2 numbers together and ask yourself one question. If a third of children still in school need to pay for extra coaching to keep up, what are schools actually delivering? That is not a comfortable question, but it is the right one. And the answer is the most important school improvement brief any principal could receive. The consensus among education experts this month is clearer than it has ever been. AI in classrooms, yes, but only with 3 conditions met first. Age-appropriate tools only, teacher trained on privacy, bias and misinformation before any student rollout, and only verified platforms, not whatever app a student found on their own. 35% of children using edtech platforms are already using Gen AI, mainly for doubt solving. Adoption is highest in low-income households. The technology is already in your school. The question is whether your school is leading it or chasing it. Pick one verified platform, train 2 or 3 teachers as champions, build it into your remedial and homework systems. Schools that do this in the next 6 months will be ahead. Schools that wait will be managing the consequences of students using unregulated tools. March 2026 gave Indian school education 3 uncomfortable truths. The government is spending record amounts and still falling short of its own target. Families are leaving government schools at a rate that should alarm policymakers, and private schools are inheriting that trust along with that responsibility. And the secondary wall, the point at which half of India's children quietly exit the system, is still standing. As school leaders, you sit at the intersection of all 3. You cannot fix the budget, you cannot fix the policy, but you can decide what kind of school a family finds when they choose to trust you with their child. That decision is made every single day. Make it well. Drop your biggest challenges in the comments. We need everyone. And we will address the top 3 in the April bulletin. I am Ravi Santlani for ScooNews, the Education Brief. See you next month.